No, I'm excited to have you here too because you're like we practically went to school together, same age, and the area that we grew up in. Um, it's kind of hard to find people our age that are really doing a whole lot or like trying to do something really cool. We're gonna go over a lot today that is also gonna help our community, let alone promote you and promote everything that you do. We're gonna have a lot of information to help the next generation get into maybe advising, maybe real estate if they have questions about it, you know. So you're an independent financial advisor at KB Elliott in Princeton, and you're an Illinois farmland broker at Sterling Land Company.
Yes.
How did you get involved in both of those?
So we'll start with the financial advising side. When I was very young, I used to ride around in the car with my dad, and he always had Dave Ramsey on.
No
Dave
kidding.
Ramsey, he always talked about getting out of debt,
Yeah.
start saving early, and you're better off in the long run. So I ended up going to University of Illinois, and they have a financial planning department within the College of ACE. ACE is Agricultural and Consumer Economics. And you're going to say, why is the financial planning department within the College of ACE, which is agricultural? Well, it's because it's consumer based. It's not business or corporate. So it doesn't fall in the College of Geese. So I ended up going through that program, and I got brought on here in Princeton as an independent financial advisor. But I had to pass the SIE, I had to pass health and life insurance, I had to pass the Series 7, and then the Series 66, which made me an investment advisor. So from there, I started cold calling all my friends, which, you got a phone call, and everybody we know got a phone call multiple times. And about 2 months into it, I only had about 10 clients. I'm thinking, geez, I'm going to fail out of financial advising in my hometown. I'm like, this isn't going to be good. So I go, what's another career that I could pursue that could be full-time that's on my own hours, though? And so my tax return came back, and I had about $2,000. And I said, well, shoot, I better do something with real estate. So I end up taking the 75-hour pre-licensing course, study, pass it, thank God. And I go, well, what am I going to do with it? Well, I have an ag background, grew up sort of on a farm. My dad farms, grandparents farmed as well. I said, well, I better do something with farm ground. So I ended up calling Monty Van Kooten, who is the founder of Sterling Land Company. And I took him to Culver's, and we talked and talked. He goes, well, I'll bring you on, and we'll see how it goes. So that's kind of how I got involved in both financial advising and farmland.
Yeah.
Which I kind of fell into it, to say the least. It wasn't something I planned for, but it truly does help with investing in a rural community, because what's another asset other than stocks and bonds that someone else has, being in small town Princeton, Illinois?
Yeah.
It's farm ground.
Yeah. That's really good. Dig back into the cold calling.
Okay.
Because I love, actually, first, before we dig into cold calling, I want to talk about how you found both of the roles that you play meshed together. You will find that by just starting.
Yes.
Right? Like a lot of people are very scared to just start something, So for example, when we started the content creating, we were like, oh man, we need merch.
Yes.
That went to an apparel business, which now they both go hand in hand, and we're growing both of those businesses.
Correct.
And they mesh very well. So just starting, finding something you love doing.
Yes.
You love Dave Ramsey, you love financial stuff. And that's the role that you found.
The farm.
That's awesome.
I love the farm too.
Now let's get back into the cold calling.
Yeah.
How many, explain what cold calling is.
So cold calling is where you open up your phone and
Yep.
you go, here's everybody that I possibly know. And unfortunately, it's part of the business getting started. I'm going to pester you. And I'm sorry for the people I pestered that I called 6 or 7 times. But I remember standing in my office. I'm like, I can't sit in my chair and do this. I got to be patient. So I have it on speakerphone. Now I'm just calling. I get to one person, and it goes to voicemail. I'm like, okay, I'll leave a professional voicemail. Hi, I'm Ian Legnar at KBL at Financial Advisors. I just recently got started into financial advising, and I wanted to see if I could have some of my services available to you. Well, geez, I spit the words out, and it sounded so bad that I hit the button to record it, and I bet you I probably re-recorded that message 7 times to that one guy.
Imagine they're listening to it.
Yeah, and I'm hoping it's really gonna get deleted.
Yeah.
So I hope I just didn't leave this guy like a 15-minute long pre-recorded of the same thing, and me going, oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. Yeah. So
how fast was your heart racing on that first call?
Well, it raced probably like, I don't know. It had to be over 200.
Yeah.
I was like, my hands are going like this. And
yeah.
I'm probably stuttering, and I used to write it out, and that was the worst thing ever, because you'd be reading it and you'd mispronounce a word and you go, shoot.
It's so bad to read.
Yeah, you just can't read.
It's so, and that's what, because we train a lot of people sales. And honestly, it's good to start in shirts because every business needs shirts. And so it's, you know, with insurance or something like that, a lot of business owners are like, oh, I got to go through all this insurance stuff. But with the shirts, it's fairly easy to sell. And that's why it's easy to teach people to sell, get them comfortable first in the shirts. But I see a lot of them, they get shaky, their heart's racing.
I know.
And it's funny because they'll absolutely nail a call. They'll do it so well. And then the next call, they're like, I'm going to pick on Aiden here. Aiden was in the office the other day and he goes, hey, this is Aiden. I was wondering if you guys ever buy shirts for your business. And that's great. The next call, does it again. Perfect. Goes into a conversation with them. And it's not a script. It's a checklist.
Correct.
I don't give my guy scripts. And they go, and the third call, he's got all these things going in the head. And honestly, the moral of the story is repetition.
Correct.
Now, how fast is your heart rate?
Still probably about, well, you still want to be perfect. So I bet you it's still about 190, but it's not.
But it goes down over time.
It goes down over time.
You get
more comfortable with it. But you posted a clip on Instagram of the one kid making a phone call and he botched it, right? And he goes, oh my gosh, no, I'm so dumb. I was in that same position. And that's
all of us are.
That's the worst feeling because you're like, well, what if I'll never get this person as a financial advising client because I made a bad image of myself? Or same thing with like farm ground, where you're calling someone that wants to sell their ground, you're making a great impression, you had a great conversation with them, and then you leave the voicemail, you don't hear from the person for 3 weeks, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
You know, I just made myself look really silly for a second there.
Have you ever made yourself look silly and then still close the deal?
I have, yes. See, it's like...
That's another point right there.
Well, it reminds me of the study where they had a bunch of people and they put scars on their face. And then the makeup lady would come back and they'd wipe it off. And what it really comes back to is you're going to judge yourself 10 times harder than someone else would.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So that's I know I probably, shortened that story up or just took the Spark Notes.
Yeah,
version
I love
of
the
it.
Spark Notes.
But,
stories.
That's probably how you got through school.
I didn't get through school, but that's how I got through the majority of my school. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no.
You're doing well for yourself.
Oh, I appreciate that. But no, that's another, it's a numbers game.
It is.
Honestly, when you're calling, and it's a great way to get started.
Exactly.
Find something you love, figure out how to make that into a product, and then cold call.
Correct.
Cold call. Make a list of the people you know, a leads list.
And then you got to rank them from who's the most friendly to who's not friendly, and
go the not friendly first.
No, not friendly last. You gotta get some calls in your belt.
I love the not friendly calls. Those are my favorite calls to make. Another quick story. I had my filmer with us and his buddy, and I won't name the business, but it was in town here. And we go into the business, and they had a conference room.
Okay.
And I go, hey, do you mind if we trade your conference room for like some photography or videography? This guy blew up. He got so mad. He goes, you know what? I'm out of here. I don't have time for this. And his employee, I look at his employee, and his employee goes, hey man, like come back. I'll show you. I was like, all right, sounds good. We go, checked out the conference room. The deal worked out perfect. We go back to the car, and my camera guy goes, how do you do that? And I go, what are you talking about? He goes, that guy just freaked out, and you just acted like it never happened. Yeah. I had forgot about it before I even got to the car.
Correct.
Because it's exactly. But you get that by making the calls, going through the leads list, and it just your skin gets tougher as it goes.
Yes.
And you got to do it, and that's awesome. I'm glad that we could have touched on that point.
Yeah, weather the storm for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. Which something that we have actually talked about before is how we're going to help the youth more. And we can start now by doing these podcasts. What's one thing that you would tell somebody that has really no idea what they want to get into, but what's one piece of advice you'd give them? A kid, say we're coming out of high school.
Yeah.
You have no idea what you want to do.
Well, it's definitely try and narrow down to something you like to do. So
yeah.
I like seeing people at the office because it's like I get to visit with my friends. I get to learn more about their financial situation, and then I get to give them the best possible advice at the time being.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't like cold calling, you could still be a financial advisor. You could be like a paraplanner on the back end where you're doing the financial plans or you're picking the investments. You're not out there hunting, sort of say. The other great thing or a great piece of advice to give to someone is find a mentor.
That's so
You
good.
need a mentor.
So good.
Because if you're going out there trying to willy-nilly it
Uh-huh.
and you don't have any direction, you're saying the wrong things, you inadvertently are giving bad advice that could, unfortunately could get you sued down the road. And that's why financial advisors and real estate agents have E&O insurance, which is errors and omission, is in case you don't purposefully but accidentally do something wrong and you get sued for it.
Yeah.
So you need a mentor to guide you, to show you how to talk to people, to provide you with that advice, because most of the stuff you can learn on your own, but it's going to take you years to do that.
Yeah.
It is finding someone that is saying, this person came to me, said this. Here's the 3 best options we believe. And then you let them take it from there.
Yeah. That's good. So when someone comes to you looking to start investing, what's a common misconception that they have about the whole process?
Well, a common misconception when it comes to investing and utilizing a financial advisor is you have to have $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 before you even meet with an advisor. Now that's true to a point when it comes to some advisors because they have minimums, which means if you don't have $15,000 or $20,000, we're not even going to look at you. But here at KB Elliott, since we are independent advisors, we'll take you if you only have $250. So
Really? Yeah, because a lot of our buddies invest with you guys. A lot of them.
So the misconception is you need a lot of money to work with a financial advisor. No, that's not true. If you have $250 that you can do as a one-time lump sum, and you can put away $50 a month, we're going to be here to help you because we know that if you put $50 away a month or $100 or $200 or $300, whatever you can afford, whatever you're comfortable doing, you're going to be far better off in the long run than you're going to be 10 years from now when you finally saved up $10,000, right?
Yeah.
It's just...
What if I'm scared to start investing now?
What are you scared about?
I don't know. I don't know what
Like
what you're going to do with my money, the market, who's president.
So let's touch on that. When you say who's president, it doesn't matter who's president. The market's going to do what the market's going to do. We have a lot of companies that produce client information, client-friendly information that will show you if a Republican's only in office, a Democrat's in office, versus waiting out the entire time. And you have like 5 or 6 times the amount. I don't know the exact amount, so I'm not trying to constitute financial advice. But by leaving it in the market, you're going to have so much more money. Now, politics don't even matter when it comes to investing.
I like that you said that.
The president has about this much when it really comes to which way companies run.
That's I love that you said that because people are always so scared to start. I'll start when, when it's a better time.
Correct.
There's never going to be a better time.
Well,
you just got to start right now. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you might say, well, I'm worried what you're going to do with our money.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to show you what we're going to do. There's not going to be anything that's hidden. So ultimately,
you have a portfolio, I'm assuming.
So we have a lot of portfolios.
Or I can come in, you can show me where the money is going.
Correct, where the money is, and you have an app, and you can sign in, and you can see your money and how it's doing. Some listed equities are intraday traded versus at the end of the day traded. So the market value will differ throughout the day. But ultimately, we're not a hedge fund manager. So we're not going to be speculative trading. We're not going to do a 2 and 20. But you're going to have direct oversight of your account.
Gotcha.
There are types of accounts where you can just pay us and we just go and do it for you. But we're still going to meet with you on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And we're going to manage your risk tolerance. That's a big thing. When you come in my office, we go over your short-term goals, your long-term goals, how much money you want to have in the future. And then you take what is called a risk tolerance questionnaire, which a risk tolerance questionnaire isn't final, but it might say, hey, this is your amount of risk that you are comfortable with taking. And then from there, we can say, well, do you want to go more? Do you want to go less? But nothing's ever set in stone.
Yeah.
So you can always change it. So if we have a portfolio that's moderate and you want to be more aggressive, we can change that. So it all depends right now with the information that you give us.
Let's go back to the skill side of things, because the main thing that you need to do to get clients is build trust with them. What's one thing you guys do? And I know you already mentioned a couple, but what's a couple things you guys do to build trust with the client?
Well, so we do go over their entire situation, their
Yeah.
long-term and their short-term goals. But the biggest piece of advice that I can give to someone is the same thing that my dad has told me. The only thing you have in life is your reputation. As soon as you're not acting as a fiduciary, as soon as you're not telling the full truth, as soon as you get that bad rap or someone feels like you did something wrong, it follows you.
It does.
You know, unfortunately, you might be having a conversation, you might name drop someone, and all of a sudden the person goes, "Oh, well, you gotta watch that guy."
Mm-hmm.
So your reputation is everything in life. It doesn't matter if this makes you more money or makes you less money. It's always got to be the right thing.
Yeah,
that's just
you could lose everything you built up reputation wise in a second.
Well, even
takes years to build up.
Even in a small community like this.
Yeah, word travels fast.
People.
Yeah.
And so it also really helped that I wasn't a juvenile delinquent in high school, because I've had people that have given me the opportunity that were former teachers,
absolutely,
or that were friends to work with, and that's because they trust me. That's not because I was the valedictorian of Princeton High School.
Yeah.
It's like my dad has said, it's your reputation.
So for the kids too that are in high school that are acting up, because I kind of did. I wasn't really a bad kid,
well, you're
but
just doing it as an adult pranking.
Yeah. No, I'm just still doing it. No, but we do it in a clean way to where we like wouldn't ruin any relationships. You know what I'm saying? So for the kids that are in high school and be like, I'll just shape up later. You gotta start now, because that stuff does follow you.
Well, it does. Imagine cold calling one of your teachers.
Oh, I'd want to. I'd maybe call 2 teachers, maybe.
And they go, "Oh, well, you were the kid that dropped a firecracker in the toilet and blew it up." You know? Don't actually edit that one out. Don't put that one in there.
You're trying to parkour off a toilet, and then the toilet fell off the wall. We were that kid.
Or you sit on the sink, or you graffiti a wall.
Yeah, it is important to start building your reputation now. You think that you're in high school, you're kind of untouchable and stuff like that. And
well, that's being kings of the court.
Yeah. I have a lot of regrets just from not shaping up a little bit. Though sophomore year, I did have the ice cream truck business, and that kept me tame, for real, because I didn't want to ruin my reputation. So it's kind of cool to just start building that now, and it'll be so much more beneficial to you in the future.
Well, it also helps coming from a good family too.
Yeah, I do. I've been very blessed coming from a good family.
If I would have had parents that were in and out of jail, then that people always say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, which that's not totally true.
Yeah, but it goes right back to getting a mentor, like you said earlier. Getting a good mentor. If I ever. And that's why showing up to events is so important, because you can find so many there.
Correct.
I have so many mentors that if I have one question about a certain aspect of my life, I know which mentor I'm calling.
Exactly.
If it's a business question, I'm going to this guy. If it's a health question, I'm going to this guy. I'm glad we touched on that.
Yeah. Well, you have your dad too.
Yes.
Yeah. Sales and communication.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He has a good personality, so that helps too.
Yeah. I've watched him sell my whole life. So
wonder where you get it from.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I've been very blessed to have people in my life to mentor, for sure. And for the people watching, we're your guys. Get in touch with us if you have any questions or anything like that, because we like to pass it down. What's one of the most rewarding things about helping people make smarter decisions with their money specifically?
So I really like the appreciation that comes from sitting down, talking with someone, trying to figure out the best solution for them at that moment. And they are very appreciative. And they all know that at any point they can walk into my office, sit down, and have a confidential talk.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you're having someone in your corner. And then you get to evolve to be that person's friend. You see them in public, you go to lunch with them. So that's the most rewarding, is having the opportunity to work with someone and then receiving that appreciation.
Yeah, that's good. A lot of my clients became friends faster than my friends became friends. Yeah. For real. Like, I know what you mean, because you build that relationship with them. That is a very rewarding feeling.
Yeah, it is.
What's one piece of financial or real estate advice you think everyone should hear but rarely does?
Well, the best piece of advice that I can give to someone is there's 2 things. There's good debt and there's bad debt.
I like where
There's
this is
good
going.
debt, such as the loan that I saw you take out
I love
on
that.
social media to expand your business. That's good debt.
Yeah.
That is debt that you're using to better your company and better yourself. Now, there's a difference between that and bad debt.
Just did that
Bad
video
debt,
on that. Roll the
yep.
clip.
Bad debt is where you come to me and say, I'd like to start investing, but I have $20,000 worth of credit card debt. Well, what people don't realize is that credit card debt is charging you 20% or 19 or 18. It depends on the credit card you have, but you know what I'm saying? So you're really eroding at trying to pay that debt off.
Yeah.
So it doesn't help you go into credit card debt. Anybody that has been successful has used debt, whether that's to buy a farm, buy a business, expand a business. So that's kind of where I differentiate a little bit away from Dave Ramsey, because he's not talking to the average investor. He's talking to someone that has come out of school.
Yeah.
Which that's not bad debt. It depends on what degree you
Yeah, it
see.
depends on what you
If
want
you
to
got
get. Yeah.
one in,
Absolutely.
if you got one in whatever, it doesn't even matter. I'm not going to list any, so I don't take all your,
so you don't lose any clients.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not going to name any, but if you get like an engineering degree, you know, that's pretty beneficial. That's good debt, because your return on that's going to be far superior versus going and just spending the money, you know, at a credit card and then getting charged 20%.
Yeah. The example that I made in the video was a lot of people, like, I'm buying a machine.
Correct.
I could have bought a house or like a car or something, you know,
but still,
cool
a
car.
house is good debt. You need somewhere to live.
Yeah, but would you make that first, or what would you do? As far if someone, that's a good question. If somebody was our age,
so it depends on your situation.
Yeah. So, would you try to get a house or would you rent first?
What do you mean rent?
As a realtor, I guess that's a good realtor. Rent.
Oh, rent.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, it
depends
depends on how much money you have saved up, how much money you earn. Right now, the interest rates are very high.
Yeah.
So the housing market is very constricted, meaning there's only about 20 houses in Princeton that are for sale right now.
Yeah.
Which means the houses are sky high. You look at a lot of these houses that are listed, and they're going for 20 or 30,000 more than they actually should be. But they can do that because the supply and demand is so weak. But what's also hurting the housing market with the interest rates is that no one wants to go sell their house where they have it financed at 3% and turn around and buy another house and pay 7%.
Yeah.
You just doubled your interest rate right off the bat.
Yeah.
So it's not really helpful. One really good statistic by First Trust, which they put out a client-friendly piece of advice I like to show my clients, and they show if you were to invest $10,000 in the S&P 500 on December 31st of 1979, and you left it in all the way until now, you'd have $1.7 million. But if you missed the 5 best trading days, that 1.7 goes to $1 million. So because you were emotionally pulled out of the market, for the 5 best trading days over that span, you lost 700,000. And then they go and they show the 10 best trading days you missed. You missed the best 30 and the best 60. Well, when you start missing all those days that are really great for compounding your account, you end up losing a ton of money over the span of your life. So it's just crazy to think that if you are an emotional investor, you're going to benefit the best from a financial advisor, because statistically, they're not as emotional as you are and they know to ride it out.
Yeah.
So that's where a financial advisor is really handy, in the sense that you're basically protecting your own money from yourself.
Yeah.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that a lot. What are some small but impactful steps that someone can take in their 20s or 30s to set themselves up for long-term financial wealth, to start investing?
So it goes back to now. Start investing now. Something small. I always tell my clients, do as much as you can comfortably, because if you're putting away, let's say $500 and you're only making $600, then your car breaks down and you have no money to make the rest of your needs, you know, you're doing too much. It's great that you have that mentality that you're going to start early and you're going to put a bunch of money away, but you can't do it to the point where you're losing sleep at night. So if you can start and say you're 18, 19, 20, or maybe you're even in your 30s and 40s, start putting something away. It doesn't matter if it's 50. It doesn't matter if it's 100. A lot of kids that I talk to, which I shouldn't say kids because they're our age, young adults, I'll say, I ask them, I said, could you do $3 a day? And they go, absolutely. I could put $3 a day in my investment account. Perfect. Let's get you set up for $100 a month. right?
Yeah.
Because $3 a day, 31 days a month. I know it's
Dude,
$93, but it's close enough, and you're getting going.
we
Out
need
of
to
sight,
touch
out of
on
mind.
that too.
Yeah, go for it.
People just spending their money, because I asked Smitty this the other day. How much do people usually spend at the bar?
Well, I'd say about $30.
$30 times what? 4 times a month?
4 times.
I mean, the bar's cheap, but if you're going out to like a city bar, you can spend $100, no problem.
$120 at the bar
120.
a month?
So that's $100 that you could set aside.
Yeah,
not
why is
even
it
see
so easy for people to do that but not set themselves up for the
Instant
future?
gratification.
Yeah.
Just like the credit
It
card.
absolutely
If
is,
you
yeah.
had to save to buy that F-150 truck over here, and you had to save the $60,000 versus putting on a credit card, you're going to feel so much better driving that new truck down Main Street now
Yeah.
than you would working for it 2 or 3 years later.
Right.
It's just instant gratification.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's something we're gonna touch on a lot at the event that's coming up, July 12th, 1% event over at West Clocks Building in Peru, Illinois. Are they gonna be able to meet you there?
Sure. When is it again?
July 12th. It's a Saturday. There's a VIP dinner before,
Okay.
after party that day.
Yeah, I'll be there.
You're gonna be there,
Yep,
so
send
people
it
are gonna
to me and
be
I'll put on my calendar.
amazing. Where else can they find you?
You can find
Socials.
me here in Princeton at KBL at Financial Advisors.
Awesome.
Also on our website, kbl8.com. I'm on LinkedIn, Ian Legnar, AFFP, which is a agricultural focused financial planning professional designation, which I've achieved. You can find me on Sterling Land Company. I also have a Facebook page where I only post clips like this, and
Cool.
where I mainly post all of my land reports and land listings, and that's just on Facebook under Ian Legnar. So
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this today. It's pretty awesome to see everything you're doing. And I think we're going to do a lot in our community and impact the youth quite a bit.
Yeah, once we get you on Rotary and Chamber of Commerce.
Can we do that this week? I'd
we
love to
can.
join. I'd love to
Yeah,
join.
we can get you
I feel
joined.
like a hypocrite because I tell people you got to get in the room. You got to get in the room, and
Yeah.
I'm not even in our own chamber or
yeah.
Rotary club. But
Well,
yeah,
you're going to meet a lot of small business owners that
Yeah.
have shirts that want to be made, or
Absolutely.
different community events that we hold. Like we hold a Shrimp Fest here
Yeah.
on June 7th.
I'll be
Yep.
there. Yeah.
So that's
Yep.
perfect. We fry shrimp all day long. That's held by our Rotary.
Yep.
And so you're going to meet those small business owners,
Absolutely.
which we made shirts for, Shrimp Fest shirts.
Yeah, we did the
So, I
shirts.
mean,
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did the shirts. So you're not even a Rotarian and you're doing the shirts for us. Look at
Yeah,
this, Smitty.
we did.
He said hypocrite earlier, didn't he?
No,
Must be an echo.
no, I'll get in. I'll get involved. Well, yeah, we're doing also the Princeton Mile.
Yep,
We're
the
gonna be
Princeton Mile.
doing. Nolan and I are gonna be doing
Are
a
you
ton of
running
that.
in it?
I am, dude.
In the
Look at
professional
his
class.
zoom in on his face.
Running, yeah. Nolan's going to be dragging him is what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, I gotta push Nolan in a manual chair too, and I'm nervous because, dude, I haven't ran in like for sure 3 years. Like went on a jog and
Went on a jog.
I've been building the business, and that's just an excuse. I could make time to go to the gym if I wanted
Yeah.
to, but yeah, we'll see. What's going on in your life?
What's going on in my life?
Yeah,
Well, I'm
That's
just
it?
playing a bunch of golf.
playing a bunch of golf.
And
It's a
so-
nice day out today. You
Yeah.
going out today?
I'm going to try and hit the course at 5 o'clock.
Are you?
But I really took a piece from Brad Underwood, which is Illinois' men's basketball coach. And he recruits a lot of European players because they practice 5 days a week and play one game. So instead of me just going out and hitting the links and, I tee up a drive and hit a wedge and 3-putt it, take a bogey, which you're not supposed to do. But I'm going to the range more and practicing more than I play. So I kind of took that mentality for this year's golf game, and I'm really hoping it pays off.
No kidding. Are you doing a
Yeah.
lot of tournaments?
I'll do the Illinois Valley Men's, which
Okay.
is the largest amateur tournament in this area. But other than that, I don't really go out and play a bunch of
Dude,
tournaments.
I just get out to escape. I don't
Yeah.
care how I play. And I ask a lot of people, do you golf at all? And they're like, oh, I'm terrible. I'm like, yeah, so am I, but I go every week, at least once a week or
It's
once a month
freedom.
at least. Yeah. It's just a getaway. Forget about work, because sometimes you need those breaks. Your burnout's such a real thing, especially when you're first starting. Any books you read? You read any books?
Yes, I do.
Atomic Habits.
No, I haven't read that one.
I'm on the first chapter.
But I just
love
read
it.
Tony Robbins' Holy Grail of Investing, which goes over a bunch of non-correlated assets.
Yeah.
So that way you can reduce 80% of your risk other than just the traditional stocks and bond and real estate. He goes into private equity, private credit. He goes into venture capitalists. He goes into owning professional sports franchise. So that's a good one. And then by Chris Voss has Never Split the Difference. He's an FBI hostage negotiator, but he gives little tiny tips throughout the book on how to communicate effectively with people.
Yeah. What's your favorite book ever that you've ever read? I'm just getting into reading, dude. Like,
So what are all these?
to-do list. Come by whenever. I got a library over here that I just need to read. No, I love Atomic Habits. Rockefeller, the 32, I think it's 32 letters. Rockefeller wrote his son. Phenomenal. I have it here.
Wait, what's that one again?
It's I think it's 32 letters from Rockefeller, and it's letters that Rockefeller wrote to his son.
Okay.
It's really good.
Because I listened to a podcast where they have the guy read the book, and he basically explains it all back to you, and I think they actually highlighted that.
Oh, really?
So I'll have to find the podcast, and you can put in your link afterward. But
Yeah,
it's very
absolutely.
interesting.
Absolutely. Just as an example of one of the chapters, one of my biggest fears is because I'm putting myself into the position where I should be very successful later on in life by the time I have kids. And so when he's writing to his son, there's a reason he goes, there's a reason you never knew we had money. And it's because the majority of kids that grow up in a successful family are usually just terrible kids. They have no motivation. Everything was handed to them. They never had to go earn anything. And he goes through, he like breaks it down as to why he like hid money from them. Like they never knew they were rich, and they're rich, like, and he goes through a bunch of examples, and they're pretty interesting book for sure. I'll let you, if you want to borrow it, you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Anything else you want to plug or?
No, just start early, and then just do it monthly, so it's out of sight, out of mind, and then just remember what my dad said: all you have in life is your reputation.
Yeah, that's good. Dude, appreciate you. Thank you for coming out. Appreciate you.